Trust is a wound you keep reopening. Every handshake hides a blade. Every vow of loyalty is a slow, burning fuse. You walk through life believing the lie that trust is strength, but in reality, it's a gaping wound. The world is not a network of allies. It's a chessboard of shadows, where even those closest to you maneuver in silence, sharpening knives you'll never see coming. Betrayal doesn't announce itself with a scream. It seeps through cracks in character, slips out in glances that linger too long, in laughter that doesn't reach the eyes. You've felt it before, the cold twist in your gut when someone's words don't align with their pulse. But you dismissed it. You chose blindness. Machiavelli's laws cut through the noise. They teach you to see betrayal before it moves, to turn paranoia into precision. Trust is a currency, but most spend it blindly, tossing it into the pockets of anyone who mirrors their desires. You've done it. Mistaken proximity for allegiance, conflated charm with integrity. But here's the fracture in your logic. Every relationship is a transaction. The moment your value dips or their ambition swells, the mask slips. Friendships become minefields. Colleagues morph into saboteurs. Even love can curdle into a strategic retreat. The danger isn't in the enemy you recognize, it's in the ally who's already calculating your demise behind a smile. Naivety is a luxury for those who crave victimhood. The cost is your power, your leverage, your future. Betrayal isn't personal, it's biological. Humans are wired to prioritize survival over sentiment. When you assume loyalty, you hand others the blueprint to your destruction. The higher you climb, the more hands will reach to pull you down, not strangers, but those who've memorized your rhythms, your tells, your soft spots. The question isn't if it will happen, it's when. And without the tools to detect it, you're just another pawn waiting for the knife. Machiavelli's words slice through centuries of delusion. He said that men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few touch what you are. The lesson is that appearances are weapons. The charming confidant, the earnest partner, they know you're watching. They want you to see the performance. But beneath the theater, there's always a second script. Your survival hinges on reading the ink that isn't spilled. Trust is not a virtue. It's a vulnerability. And vigilance is the tax you pay to stay ahead of the blade. And if you must stay ahead, these are the only 3 rules you must know. Rule 1. Dissect the unsaid. The human body is a traitor. It leaks truth like a sieve. Words are deliberate, crafted to mislead, to flatter, to obscure. But the unspoken? That's where the rot festers. Machiavelli's first law demands you become a surgeon of subtlety, dissecting the flickers of hesitation, the half-seconds of tension, the rehearsed cadences of lies. Betrayal doesn't live in grand declarations. It thrives in the margins, a tremor in the voice, a glance that darts to the door, a smile that tightens at the edges like a noose. You've been taught to listen to promises. Stop. Listen to the silence between them. Every interaction is a duel of subtext. When someone leans in too eagerly, when their laughter sinks a beat too late with the room, when their hands retreat into pockets mid-conversation. These are not accidents. They're confessions. The body cannot sustain a lie indefinitely. It rebels in micro-gestures, a jaw clenched under the weight of deception, pupils dilating with adrenaline, shoulders curving inward to shield the heart. These are the hieroglyphics of disloyalty. Decode them. Machiavelli warned, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." Betrayers are architects of necessity. They will swear allegiance to your face while drafting their exit in the dark. But their architecture has flaws. Study the rhythm of their behavior. Does their empathy vanish when they think you're not looking? Do their stories shift like sand? Minor details altered, timelines blurred. Consistency is the hallmark of honesty. Inconsistency is the fingerprint of a double agenda. Here's the razor's edge. You must distrust your own biases. You want to believe the colleague who praises your ambition, the friend who vows discretion, the partner who swears fidelity. But desire is a blindfold. Strip it away. Observe without mercy. Map their baseline, how they stand when relaxed, how they speak when unguarded. Any deviation is a flare. A sudden fixation on their phone during a vulnerable conversation. A pause too long after you ask, "Can I count on you?" The devil isn't in the details. He's in the deviations. Betrayal is a language. Learn its grammar. A loyal ally meets your gaze without flinching. A conspirator holds it a second too long, testing dominance. A genuine confidant leans into your pain. A manipulator mirrors it superficially, a pantomime of care. Trust is not earned through grand gestures. It's dismantled through microscopic fractures. The hands that once steadied you will tremble when plotting your fall. Watch for the tremor. This is not paranoia, it's protocol. The unspoken does not lie. It cannot. It is the raw nerve of intent, the involuntary truth that bypasses the brain's censorship. Your power lies in becoming a forensic observer of these leaks. Machiavelli's genius was his refusal to romanticize human nature. He understood. Loyalty is a strategy, not a virtue. To survive, you must see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. Ask yourself now, who in your life has mastered the art of seamless contradiction? Whose words drip honey while their eyes scan for exits? Find them before their blade finds you. Rule 2. Test their boundaries. Loyalty is a myth until stress-tested. You don't ask for allegiance, you engineer moments that force it to surface or shatter. Machiavelli's second law is not about cruelty, it's about clarity. The truth hides in comfort. Apply pressure and watch what oozes out. Betrayers thrive in ambiguity, in the unspoken contracts of maybe and someday. Your task? Eliminate the gray. Carve their intentions into black and white. Push the door. See if it opens or slams shut. Introduce friction. A calculated request that inconveniences them. A pointed question that demands ideological alignment. A minor secret entrusted, then monitored for leaks. The goal isn't to punish, but to provoke. Loyalty isn't a feeling. It's a reflex. How they react under subtle strain reveals their hierarchy of priorities. Are you the priority? Or are you collateral? Machiavelli coldly observed, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Betrayers delay. They hedge. They orbit your power while keeping exits clear. But pressure strips away the luxury of indecision. Present a scenario where choosing your side costs them something. Time, reputation, a sliver of their comfort. Do they lean into the sacrifice, or does their resolve fray? Do they volunteer to bleed for the cause, or do they flinch, retreating into excuses polished smooth by practice? The answer is your compass. Here's the mechanism. Loyalty under fire crystallizes or evaporates. The colleague who champions your ideas in meetings but hesitates to defend them privately? The friend who vows solidarity yet vanishes when rumors swirl? These are not flaws of character. They are revelations of calculus. When you test, you're not seeking grand gestures. You're auditing micro choices. Do they return calls faster when you're ascending? Do their eyes flicker with irritation when your needs interrupt their agenda? Survival instincts don't lie. They redirect resources toward self-preservation. Always. But be precise. Testing is scalpel work, not blunt force. Overplay your hand and you become the tyrant, giving them moral cover to defect. Instead, apply heat in increments. Share a vulnerability and observe if they weaponize it or guard it. Delegate a task that requires discretion and dissect their execution. Loyalty isn't proven in the oath, it's proven in the upkeep. The betrayer will cut corners. The ally will over-deliver, not out of love, but because they recognize the stakes of the test. Remember, trust is not a gift. It's a verdict. You are judge, jury, and executioner. The moment you sense hesitation, you've already glimpsed their limits. Machiavelli's world had no room for faith, only evidence. The friend who balks at a small request today will crumble under larger threats tomorrow. The partner who sidesteps a minor conflict will abandon you in the storm. These are equations, not emotions. Solve them. Betrayal is not a sudden act. It's a trajectory. Testing boundaries maps that trajectory before impact. Every relationship has a threshold, a point where self-interest overrides allegiance. Your job is to find that threshold while you still control the variables. Probe gently, relentlessly. Let them think they're choosing while you're observing. The second their loyalty fractures, you'll see it. A fractional delay in their response, a rehearsed deflection, a flicker of relief when you change the subject. Ask yourself, who in your orbit has never faced a true test? Who floats in the safety of your goodwill, never forced to prove their weight? Find them. Isolate them. Apply tension. The truth will snap into focus. Machiavelli's genius was his recognition that power isn't taken, it's revealed. Testing boundaries isn't distrust, it's the ultimate pragmatism. You're not hunting for enemies, you're filtering illusions out of your life. When the test is done, you'll stand in a room cleared of smoke. The shadows will have names, the loyal will have scars, and you'll have certainty. Information is currency, but narrative is the forge that shapes its value. To wield power, you must command the story, not just its facts, but its shadows, its implications, its whispers. Rule 3. Control the narrative. Machiavelli's final law is a masterclass in psychological leverage. The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar. Truth is irrelevant. Perception is sovereignty. By steering how information is framed, you expose who aligns with your vision and who hungers to rewrite it. Betrayal festers in unchecked narratives. The moment you relinquish control of the story, you hand your enemies a blueprint to manipulate your alliances. Plant a seed, a minor rumor, a veiled confession, a strategic half-truth. Watch how it spreads. Who fertilizes it? Who uproots it? Who pretends not to notice while memorizing its contours? Loyalty is not a static vow. It's a verb. It acts. It corrects. It defends. Betrayal? It hesitates. It hesitates because it calculates. This is not deception. It's diagnostics. When you control the narrative, you create a litmus test for allegiance. Share a sliver of sensitive information, not to entrap, but to observe. Does the confidant guard it like a vault, or does it resurface in distant conversations, repackaged as gossip? Does the colleague dismiss it as irrelevant, or dissect it for hidden advantage? Machiavelli's prince does not fear manipulation. He orchestrates it to isolate threats. The goal is not to lie, but to illuminate, to turn the invisible visible. Reality is malleable. You are not a passenger of perception, you are its architect. When you adjust the narrative's lens, you force others to reveal their focal points. Do they mirror your framing or reframe it to serve their ends? Do they amplify your authority or subtly redirect credit to themselves? A loyal ally reinforces your story. A betrayer revises it. They cannot help themselves. Their edits betray their hunger. Ask yourself, what did their response tell you about their allegiance? Did the rumor slither into the ears of those you suspected? Did silence masquerade as discretion while complicity festered? The speed and shape of their reaction is a confession. The ally confronts inconsistencies. The betrayer exploits them. The indifferent let chaos thrive, their apathy a quieter form of treason. Machiavelli's ruthlessness lies in his clarity. Power belongs to those who script the play, not those who perform it. To control the narrative is to hold a mirror to the ambitions of others. Watch how they posture in its reflection. Do they polish your image or angle the glass to admire their own? The betrayer will always tip the mirror. But here's the pivot. Control demands cold precision. Overplay your hand and you become the boy who cried wolf, your influence diluted by theatrics. Instead, calibrate. Let the narrative shift like a tide, subtle, inevitable, eroding the weak. A well-placed doubt, a strategic omission, a question phrased as a statement. I heard the project's deadline moved up. Watch who panics, who pivots, who probes. Their instincts will outspeak their words. This is the art of narrative jujitsu. Use their momentum against them. Let them think they're deciphering your moves while you map theirs. Every adjustment they make to your story is a footprint. Follow it. The loyal walk toward you. The betrayers circle back to their dens. In the end, controlling the narrative isn't about dominance. It's about distillation. It strips relationships to their essence, who serves the collective and who serves themselves. Machiavelli's genius was his disdain for delusion. He understood that trust is not given. It's proven under fire. When you own the narrative, you own the battleground. Betrayal cannot ambush you. It steps into your arena, armed with a script you wrote. So ask, who in your life has earned the right to your story? And who merely borrows it to draft their own? Find them, then rewrite their role, or erase it entirely. The game is rigged. Trust is not a bond, it's a blindfold. But now, you hold the knife to cut it loose. Machiavelli's rules are not theories. They are survival algorithms. Read the unspoken. Test their boundaries. Control the narrative. These are not steps. They are laws. Laws that strip away the luxury of naivety and replace it with the armor of foresight. Betrayal will always exist, but it will no longer outpace you. You stand at a crossroads. One path is familiar, the lie that goodwill begets loyalty, that vulnerability is strength, that the world rewards those who trust first. You've walked it. You've bled on it. The other path is colder, sharper, a road lit by the flicker of doubt, where every alliance is provisional and every smile is dissected. This is the path of the vigilant, the path where betrayal doesn't happen to you, it answers to you. Machiavelli's final warning. He who believes that new benefits will cause great personages to forget old injuries is mistaken. Translation: loyalty is not a debt. It's a transaction. The moment you stop auditing the ledger, you become a liability. The moment you stop testing the waters, they stagnate with rot. Your power lies not in avoiding betrayal, but in rendering it inert. See it coming, and it loses its fangs. So, act today, not tomorrow, when the blade is already at your throat. Who in your inner circle has evaded scrutiny? The friend who forgets your warnings? The partner who dismisses your instincts as paranoia? The colleague whose praise feels performative, rehearsed, hungry? Test them. Probe the cracks in their facade. Plant a thread of doubt and watch who tugs at it. This isn't cruelty. It's clarity. The world is not kind to the unguarded. Ask yourself, what do you value more, comfort or control? The lie of harmony or the truth of power? This is the essence of Machiavelli's teachings. To choose awareness over affection. To trade the hollow warmth of trust for the invincible chill of scrutiny. Betrayal is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Close with this. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Your circle is a mirror. If it reflects weakness, naivety, blind spots, you are the architect. Rebuild it. Prune the loyal from the opportunistic. Reward the vigilant. Exile the hesitant. The quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your discernment. Now, move. Comment below with one betrayal sign you've ignored until now. The glance that lingered. The promise that evaporated. The hand that steadied you a little too tightly. Speak it. Expose it. Then watch this space. You will find resources to keep you ahead of the curve. Do check out the next video. Until then, stop trusting, start seeing.